This is Dawn, and every once in a while I get completely obsessed with a stamp set, and that is what is going on here. So you can see all these great borders that I have made. I just took the stamp set that I'm about to show you and the complementary ink. So this is ballerina paper with ballerina ink on it, and I'm using, so this is the true side color, which is the dark color, and then the back of the paper is a little bit lighter, and that really helps it to have the tone on tone. Now here I've got bluebell ink on the light side and bluebell ink on the dark side, so you can also do it on the dark side of the paper. So let me show you the stamp set. This is only available February 2021, so you need to get this right away, and you can get it free. If you're a VIP and you just place your $50 qualifying order, you get this stamp set for free. And then if you are not a VIP, which we need to chat if you're not, because you get so many perks with it, but if you're not a VIP and you place a $50 order, then you can get it for $5. And then I think it's $18.95. I'm such a great salesperson. I don't even know how much our stamp of the months are. I'm trying to flip here to double check. Yeah, so if you wanted to just purchase just this stamp set, it's $18.95. So you can see, pick up a few ink pads and some papers and stuff, and you can get it for $5 or free if you're a VIP. So let me show you the stamps and give you some tips on it. Right here, I don't know if you can tell on this one, I stamped it once and then I shifted the stamp and stamped it again, so you get that kind of like shadow effect on there. And then think about your stamp set. So like this is how wide the stamp is, but I stamped it on this paper and then trimmed it down, so I didn't have any of the white next to it. And let's see if there's anything else on here. I think, oh, this one right here, this is done. I put multiple stamps on the same block and then just stamped it down. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a few things. Let me just scooch these out of the way so I can show you some tips on how to use the stamp set. First of all, my biggest tip is to think about the size of block that you put the stamp on. And these right here, these are the free blocks that you get when you do the card subscription every month or every 4 months when you get your box. You get a block and a little mini ink pad that's like this. So I love these blocks for this because it's nice and it's bigger than the stamp, so you can clearly see around it. So what I did is I just pulled out a bunch of my blocks like that and put my stamps on them, because I was making a lot of borders and it was easier than taking a stamp off and putting it back on. And speaking of putting your stamp on your block, let me show you a little tip for that. So when you peel your stamp off the carrier sheet, this one's not as wiggly. Let me try this one. This one's narrower, and it could be real easy to accidentally put it on your block kind of wiggly. And if you wanted to do like a rounded shape, you could purposely round it and then stick it on your block. But if you want it nice and straight, it starts with getting it on your block straight. So I flip it upside down so that the sticky part is up, and I use the grid on my mat to just lay it there. So I'm not exerting any pressure. I'm just letting it lay the way it needs to lay. And then I bring my block in and press it down on there, and now it's nice and straight. And actually, I didn't put my head in the camera, but I would also want to make sure my block was lined up on the grid. So that's one little tip on there. I yanked that off a different block and put this one back on. So again, you kind of set it on your grid and then place your block right on it. So I used these blocks. I also used this size block here. This particular stamp, this one right here, is this stamp right here. And I'm going to show you a little bit of stamping trick on that one. So I think I had a different color out here, but I moved it when I was moving everything away. So I'm just grabbed my Lagoon ink, and this is ballerina paper, just to kind of show you how this goes. And so now I'm going to ink up my stamp. And now you can tell that I purposely offset it. Instead of centering the stamp in the block, I set it over to one side. And I did that on purpose so that when I go to stamp it and I go to line it back up again, we'll see if I can do this without sticking my head in the camera. I can see a little bit better. Now you want to stand up above it. It's a little hard for me to do this on camera, but I had a hard time because let me try standing up. You can hear me stand up here. This might give me a better view. So now because I can see where the stamp set is, I have a little bit better chance of lining that up versus if it was right up to the edge. I have done this many times, so I'll show you one where I actually got it closer, but that's still a good tip for you. And then, let's see, other tips on here. Let me go to my little stamp that has multiple on here. So I took all these little ones right here and put them all on the same stamp. And now I can stamp them on my paper. And I didn't do that straight, but again, I'm on camera, so it's a little different. So now what I would do with this piece to hide my imperfections, you can then take your little paper trimmer and go in here and trim it down. So you can get it closer to the size of the stamps. You can also then go through and cut these apart if you wanted little strips on there. So there's lots of fun ways that you can use these stamps. And I am going to show you a few of the things that I have done with them to tease you for some more videos that I'm going to be doing throughout the week because, like I said, obsessed. So there's what I did was I picked a color combo from our color book and just picked strips of paper like my scraps, cut little strips of them and just stamped them. And then this is from the, let's see, it's from this stamp set, Z3698. And so it has the die cuts for the flowers. So there's one. There's another one where I did birthday candles. This little stamp right here is this little stamp right there. And then that is a super fun one that I'm going to do a video on. And then here's this. And I still have more ideas that I have not used. This was just using the basics of using it as a straight border. So I hope you'll tune in throughout the week as I continue to share tips and ideas and show you how to make some of these projects.